Yo, what's up? In this video, I want to share with you the best niche to sell to if you want to start selling AI agents and AI systems to help people scale their businesses. I just believe this would be a really cool conversation to have today as a topic. We're also going to be answering questions because the purpose of this channel is for me to document myself building a brand new AI offer to 7 figures live, like basically just document the process, answer all the questions, and provide you as much value as possible. We're going to be answering that question about the niches, but before we get there, I want to provide some extra value by answering the questions in the comments and also sharing an update on the business. Now, since we last spoke, I was in Orlando. I met with the founder of Agent Kong. I met with my client, James. Today, I actually met with my client, Troy, which was a lot of fun. We hit the gym together, and he just got a new Tesla, a Model S with like a bunch of extra performance stuff. It has 700 horsepower. That was insane. It's 10 p.m. We're a little bit tired, but we're going to get it done anyways. So update on the business is today we sorted out the SMS problem. So what that means is essentially starting tomorrow, they inform me, the support team for the SMS provider that I'm partnered with, that we are going to be able to start blasting messages. So we are going to start sending anywhere from 10,000 to 12,000 new messages a day. I think there's a lot of opportunity using SMS, and I'm considering putting more priority there than cold DMs. And the reason being, I've talked to ChatGPT about this for a while as well. The reason being is SMS will integrate better with Agent Kong than cold DM for the simple fact that we could do mass SMS messages using one phone number, where with cold DMs, in order to do mass DMs, we need multiple accounts. And it's kind of complicated to connect Agent Kong to a ton of different Instagram accounts, since Agent Kong integrates with Go High Level, and Go High Level, I believe, only allows you to connect one Instagram account. That's a little bit of the update. So we're going to start blasting out messages. We also signed a client, technically kind of like a free client. He's somebody I actually met in the gym like months ago, and he's a realtor here in Miami. He's connected with a bunch of people, so I thought it'd be a great idea to build these processes for him, and basically gain a case study out of it, right? So yeah, that's kind of an update on the actual offer. Maybe tomorrow I'll show a little bit more work behind the scenes. Raj1, I want to answer your question, man. What's the simplest daily IG system that would guarantee me more leads, appointments, and clients if I just repeat it long enough? I read this question before recording, and I'm trying to think of how to answer it to you. I think the short answer is this question. You're asking the wrong question because you're looking for like the magic bullet. What's that one process, that one template that's going to work for me forever and ever and ever if I just keep doing it long enough? That's not how business works. And if I just tell you like, hey, use the easy question approach. Let's say you're working with pool contractors. This works really well. Go and DM them and say like, if you don't have actual content on your profile, this would work better because you could appear as a client. You could say like, hey, wondering if you could do another pool right now. And then when they answer, you hit them with a pitch, you get them on a call. You could also do the case study approach. Hey, help this pool contractor add 30 grand a month in revenue. Would love to share a video breaking down how we use it, right? There's different ways to do it. But if I just give you one template, I would be doing a disservice to you. Rather, what I would tell you is there is no one way if you just repeat it long enough that it's going to work. You have to learn how to test stuff. Like, that's the short answer. You have, like, if I tell you to do the easy question approach, right? And you go out and you do it for 5 years and you never sign clients, that wouldn't be too good, right? As you can tell, dude, I'm super tired today for some reason, but hopefully if you've been following along, you'll watch till the end of this video. Help me with my retention, boys. Come on, I'm dropping game. I'm dropping heat. I don't think many people do it like me, man, in terms of client results and stuff, but Raj1. In terms of actual tactical stuff, either an easy question kind of mousetrap approach would work well, or if you have a lot of content on your page and you're trying to build some credibility that way, I would do a case study approach if you have one. If you don't have a case study, the last tactical approach I would try, or I would not try, but test, would be a unique mechanism angle. So I try and center it around AI, right? Just try to increase intrigue. Remember, one of the biggest things that I'm remembering right now when it comes to marketing is to show the cleavage, not the tits. Okay? What that means is you want to show enough cleavage to get people curious to learn more and to see what it's about. But if you show the full display, it reveals it all. They're not really interested. Remember that. Show the cleavage, not the tits. Okay? That's the number one marketing lesson I've ever learned. Another one that Troy actually told me about, my client that I met with today, he's like, I have a crazy testimonial from him, dude. He just got a car today. He just moved to Florida. He built his fitness coaching business. He just said, bro, the simplest thing that I remembered for you over the last 2 years was to, whenever I get confused and overthink, just get more leads, book more appointments, and close the sales calls. And if you could just reroute yourself to just focus on those things, eventually you'll get there. So, long story short, it would be dumb if I told you, hey, just say this, Rajwan, for a year straight and see how it works. No. Go and send let's say 1,000 DMs with one type of approach. Then I want you to comment down, hey, Christian, I'm getting this positive response rate. I'm getting this many leads to book a call. I'm getting this show up rate. I'm getting this close rate. Should I pivot the message? Right? So you have to learn how to test, okay? Hopefully that helps. With AI doing so much of the outreach and appointment booking, do you think billing to 10 to 50K a month still requires the same level of sacrifice? I would say that's such a good question. Or does automation mean the grind phase is shorter and less brutal? What a great question, Rajwan. Dude, keep dropping questions, bro. I'd love to answer these. And honestly, I'm really tired to think about, give you the best response. But what a good question. I guess my answer, at least right now, it would, technically it does make the grind phase less brutal, because when I was starting, I didn't have ChatGPT to ask every damn question to and basically be my business partner. I didn't have softwares like Agent Kong to book appointments for me. I didn't have softwares like Cold DMs to send cold DMs for me. I didn't have softwares that let me send mass SMS, right? So, yes. Short answer, it will be less brutal, but you're still at a point, I believe, based on all the comments you've left, that you're a beginner. And so you're still going to have to go through that shit, right? You're going to have to go through the grind phase. An example of this, I actually told Troy today, the first business I ever started was a mobile detail wash business. And I thought it was going to be the easiest way to get to 10 grand a month. I thought it was super easy. I'm just going to go knock on some doors and people are going to give me $200 to wash their car. I remember I went out to my friend's neighborhood in 95-degree Miami humid weather, and it took me an hour and a half. I was able to knock on 5 to 10 people's door, and none of them answered. And I got in my car and I shut down the business that day. So, and then what Troy told me is bro, my friend went through the exact same thing. He's just getting into entrepreneurship right now. He went and started a mobile detailing business, and he took an hour and a half to go knock one door because he was so nervous, and then they rejected him. And I said, bro, us entrepreneurs, bro, we're built from the same cloth. We all go through the same stuff, and it's so funny how everybody's just repeating the cycle, going through the same type of stuff. So yeah, you're still going to have to grind. You can't avoid it. You're still going to have to eat shit because your skill set's not there yet, but AI definitely makes you do less manual, low leverage tasks. Mason, already on route to testing both. Let me know what you find, brother. If you want to write in the comments, let me know which one works better for you. We'd love to know. Killer Cheese. If you guys don't know, Killer Cheese is James, who I had in the last video, my client. He's about to do 40 grand a month. He's 19 years old. Bro, he had an old YouTube channel with hundreds of videos. Look at this. I'm gonna Lil Tecca Fortnite parody. This was back when he was little, dude. Look at him, bro. That's so funny, James. Nah, dude. You're hilarious, bro. You went from you said your most popular video was Clash Royale, right? I'm gonna subscribe, bro. Come on. Let's go, dude. My friend got me a legendary chest in Clash Royale. That's so funny, bro. Killer Cheese. You're a funny guy, bro. Anyways, to answer the question of today's video, since you're dude, when is this guy going to answer my damn question? I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it in 2 minutes, okay? The best niche to sell an AI system to is pretty simple. The best niche to sell an AI system to. What a great question, right? What is the best niche? Who are the best people to target? Well, to its core, the type of business I'm running and that you should run if you want to kind of follow my path is a business. You can think of it kind of like an appointment setting slash like lead gen business, right? To its core, all we do is we help people get leads and we help people book appointments. Or I'll just put an addition so you can see this here. We help people get leads and we help them book appointments to equal money. And if we could show them like, hey, we're going to generate you X amount of money, just pay us Y instead, we're going to make money, right? Very simple interaction. Now, what's the best niche? Well, the best niche is the niche that could generate the most amount of money from your leads plus appointments. Very simple question, right? I'd also say that the best niche for you is one that you have a competitive advantage in. Very important. There's so much stuff I could talk about this. I'm just going to keep today short in case you're clicking on this video kind of curious what niche you should be selling to, if you want to start an agency, if you want to start becoming like really a marketer, right? The niche that could generate the most amount of money. I'm going to give you an example. I have a client that works with barbers. Now, this isn't to say that you can't work with people that charge low ticket, but on average, a barber will charge $30 a cut, right? $30 a haircut. Let's say that we wanted to generate this, like, let's say that our offer was like, hey, let's get you 30 grand a month in new revenue, and you just pay us like 3 grand a month, let's say. I don't like monthly retainers so much. Kind of makes you a slave to the client. Let's just say you did a PIF. So it's like, you're going to pay us 10 grand. We're going to build a system that's going to add 30 grand a month to your business forever. We would get 30 grand and we would divide it. By 30. So that means we would have to do, so it's $30 times 1,000 haircuts equals 30K, right? Now, let's say that we work with, let's use an interesting one here. Let's say we work, what's like a super high ticket thing that we can do? Why does this keep going to 1? Do you see that? That's so annoying. This is so stupid. Hey Shelby, what are you doing, buddy? Let's take anything high ticket, bro. You could talk like solar, real estate, like realtors, coaching offer. Let's see. It could also be to other agencies. Think of like anything high ticket. So I would say anything over a couple $1,000. What happens? The simple point that I'm trying to get to, just to get straight to the damn point, no fluff. It's easier to get somebody results that charges more money than somebody that doesn't charge a lot of money. Point blank, simple, period. Okay? You could do the same amount of effort for a barber as you do for, let's say, a $10 million SaaS company, right? Let's just say that. The SaaS also sells low ticket, but they're a huge company. And so let's say you put the same amount of effort into lead flow and appointment setting for them, and you help generate them an extra $1 million. How much are they going to be willing to pay you? A lot of money. Let's say you work with a small barbershop. They charge $30 a cut. They can only take on 100 haircuts. You can only bring them in a couple $1,000s. How much are they going to be willing to pay? Only a couple $1,000s. The point that I'm getting at is if you're starting from scratch, you want to pick an industry or niche that could generate a lot of money from the lead flow and lead generation you do for them in appointment settings. So I would go into solar, mortgage, real estate, home service is really cool. You can go into a bunch of different industries. You could also say that you want an industry that you actually care about helping. So instead of industry, just change this for avatar. a type of person that you actually care about helping, you know? Maybe something that you have, so a competitive advantage. Competitive advantage can come in a bunch of different ways. It can come from, let's just say, experience. So if you have experience working in real estate, you're going to have an edge to somebody that doesn't have experience. And let's say you both take the same sales call, you're more likely to close it. There's a million different ways. You could just ask ChatGPT, what competitive advantages do I have, and give it like a little bit of info and context about yourself. But I just want to get your brain flowing for a second, right? It's easy to sell an expensive thing to somebody that sells expensive things because your lead gen and appointment setting efforts are going to generate them a lot of money, and they can pay you a lot. You can work with people that you actually care about helping. You want to offer a competitive advantage in whatever sense that you might have: experience, money, access, a network, like a connection to somebody in the industry. That's huge. Maybe a family member, an uncle, an aunt, whatever. You get the idea. And that's basically what I would say. There is no magic pill, one industry that's just going to make you a crap ton of money. They all work. And the really, really important thing that I want to drill in from like this half asleep state that I'm in right now, is that every industry, every niche, every person that you're going to try to sell to, every group of people, that's what a niche is. It's a group of people with a common interest or trait. So realtors, common trait. They're all real estate agents, right? Every niche has its own cons. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what, you can apply this to anything. The grass is greener where you water it. The grass is not always greener on the other side. And so you might try working with pool contractors, which is a really cool niche, dude. I know somebody that makes millions and millions of dollars working with pool contractors and owning a pool contracting business. Regardless, if you work with pool contractors, you're going to have a bunch of cons to these people. Oh, they're contractors, they're stuck up, they're stubborn, they don't want to use AI, blah, 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 blah. And you say, dude, if only I sold to people in the online space, they would finally get it. And let's say you go and you decide, hey, I'm going to start selling to high-ticket coaches. They understand the power of AI. They understand the power of internet marketing. They sell expensive things. They're making good money. All I see are sunshine and rainbows. You get into the business. You get into actually starting to talk to them and selling to them. And you realize the cons. Oh my gosh. These coaches that I'm talking to, since they are also marketing online, they're actually better than me at the thing I'm offering. And you're like, whoa, right? Another con, everybody's selling to coaches. It's so saturated, right? You just have to be good to actually make it work. It's so saturated. The point is, pick one industry that has a couple of those things that I told you about. The next point is, stick with it. Period. The grass is greener where you water it. So water it on the industry, on the person that you decided you want to help. Okay? There's something called, you've heard Hormozi talk about it, I'm assuming. The Valley of Despair, right? I'll leave you with this point real quick, and then we can wrap it up here. When you learn something or you're starting something new, whether it's picking a niche, whether it's starting lead gen, whether it's starting to book appointments for yourself, or learning the delivery you're going to do for a client, or actually getting clients and fulfilling for them, or taking your first sales call, whatever it is in business that you're starting, you're going to have this delusional confidence that it's sunshines and rainbows, right? You're going to start with it. And as enough time passes, what you're going to realize is that you know nothing. So at the beginning, you're super delusional and you're like, dude, I know everything about it. I'm going to crush with it. Then after a couple of months of doing it, you're like, oh my gosh, I suck at this thing. That's the valley of despair. You become sad and you're like, and you become like morbid. You become a pessimist. You're like, dude, this industry sucks. These prospects suck. The service sucks. The business model sucks. Life sucks. The world hates me. And if you're able to get through that valley of despair, you're able to get through something that the majority of people just aren't going to get through. And the majority of people are broke, which is why they didn't get through it. If you could just stick in that tough, hard spot for long enough, like to answer Rajwan's question, Doesn't matter that AI is here. You're still going to go through this. If you stay in the valley of despair long enough and you give it enough time with consistent action and iteration on the feedback that you're getting, what's going to happen is you're going to have not delusional confidence, but you're going to genuinely be confident because you're actually going to get over that valley of despair. You're going to become good at the thing and you're going to see it for what it actually is. The water's not going to be murky anymore, right? When you see, think of it like, let's say we're at the beach and you're out like far away from the water on the sand and you see the water and you're like, dude, that water is so clear. I know when I get there, the water's going to be beautiful. I'm going to see everything in the water. As you start approaching the water, you start entering the valley of despair, you realize the water is completely murky. You can't see anything. But if you stay in the water long enough and you don't move and you don't switch niches and you don't try a different thing, what's going to happen is you're going to get over that valley of despair. And you're going to get to the point where the water is finally clear again. I don't know if that's the best analogy to use. Hopefully that makes sense for you. The point is, pick an industry, pick something, stick with it, get good at it, and you'll beat most people. Okay? I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry that today I'm just extremely tired, but it's one of those days. And I think the more important lesson here is that even though I'm like, not slurring my words, but like I'm stuttering, I'm slow, I'm not super engaging and hype, and I'm not going to have the best retention on this video and I won't get a lot of views on it. But the big important lesson is that I stuck to my word that I was going to film a video today, and I did it. And I don't care that it sucked. Maybe it didn't suck. Let me know if you thought it didn't suck. I think it sucked because I wasn't able to get clear thoughts out. Regardless, we got the work done. And that's what counts. Showing up every day and doing things to get attention, doing things to book calls. We fixed the SMS system. We're reaching out to agents and doing things to close deals. We closed that client today on the new offer, even though it wasn't anything upfront. I love you and I wish you the best. You're going to freaking crush it, man. I need like a tagline to get out of these videos. Give me like a tagline. Like, go take imperfect action. Go take imperfect action. I'll see you real soon, my friend.